Hey folks, welcome to the Brotherhood of the Arrow and Sword. Today we're with our good friend Caleb Hand from Made by Hand Leather.
So, Caleb, how long have you been doing leatherworking and what really got you started in this?
Well, I started doing leatherworking about 20 or so years ago. I was making things for myself and my friends, just small time. But the business itself, Made by Hand Leather, has been, I think we established in 2013. Again, I was going to a LARP and wanted to make some things for some friends, new outfits, new armor. And it spawned a little bit more interest in getting the correct tools and proper way to make things. And then the business kind of built from there.
So what do you actually do in real life?
Outside of fair and outside of leatherworking, I'm a teacher. I teach high school history,
Okay.
mostly U.S. history actually, so nothing Renaissance or medieval and stuff like that. But yeah, I've always enjoyed history, and when I traveled to Europe, I saw lots of things, castles and other medieval things, as well as modern history, and it really inspired me to become a history teacher. So there's a little bit of synergy there between the history, even though I only teach U.S. history.
So you mentioned you were dealing with a LARP. Which LARP do you usually deal with?
So currently for the past 4 years I've been playing one in Canada called Bicoline. It's the largest LARP in North America. It's very immersive. The costumes and armor are top notch. So it's really great for visual immersion. But over the years I've played probably a dozen, maybe 15 different LARPs, ranging from where I started in Nero, a New England role-playing organization way back 25 years ago or something like that. It's been around forever. And then I've played a variety of other ones since then.
So, what pieces do you have that are more like LARP oriented, and what do you have that's more Ren Fair oriented?
So for things that I make, the armor that I make is all LARP grade armor. And there's these gigantic suits I just made this year. These are actually designed by Prince Armory. So Prince Armory sells the patterns and then allows leather crafters to actually use the patterns to make the suits. And so that one in red and black is a fantasy suit, and there's a second version of it in brown there, so you have a little alternate version. And then I also have pauldrons, you can see on the wall there. And then for more fair kind of goers, you have more costume type of pieces like waist cinchers, and then tankards, of course. A lot of mead drinking at the fair, and so we have a lot. Tankards are a big sale, as well as box pouches. I call them box pouches because they're shaped like a box and they can go on your belt. Or I also have a strap so you can wear it like a purse. So even outside of fair, you can make use of it instead of having to just have it in your fair stuff that you're going to use.
Now when you're at an event, such as a fair or a Ren Fair or whatever event you're at, do you do armor repair? Do you make items custom for people? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so sometimes, in fact, some of your fighters have come over and said, oh, I broke a strap here, can you throw a rivet on here or punch some holes, or I've lost weight or gained weight and my belt is not fitting right. So yeah, I bring tools with me. I have a bunch of little things here that can do some minor repairs here. And depending on the fair, sometimes I'll bring some scrap leather too, because someone will come by and say, hey, I just bought an axe from this vendor over here, and I need to have a cover that looks appropriate, not this cardboard box of carrying it around. And they say, can you make a cover? And so yeah, I say, sure, I have a little bit of scrap leather and my tools, and come back in 20 minutes and I'll have it here for you. Or they can actually watch me make it right here. So we do have enough supplies usually to make little things like that. But to do full-on armor making and really if it's a badly damaged piece of armor, it's going to take something where I have to take it home, go to the shop, and then ship it back to them or something like that.
So when you, so say someone is just starting out, what can they expect to find for services from you if they were to experience you or come and find you at an event?
So if they wanted to come see me at the event, we have one of the bigger tents they can see on the field here. But if they want to check me out online and contact me and say, are you going to be at this fair, or know my schedule, they can go to our Facebook group for Made by Hand Leather. That would be a great way. I always post what events that we're going to be at, just like the Brotherhood, which is great that we share a lot of those events and we cross,
Yeah,
suggest,
definitely.
to show when people can come out to them. So that's the best way to follow when we're going to be at which fairs.
Yep, yep.
So, my question then goes off of that is, why do you do this? What brings you back to Ren Fairs year after year?
So I've actually been asked this question before, like, what is the best feeling you get about fair? And the best feeling for me is when I see somebody walking by wearing one of my items, and I have that moment of pride that, like, I could look at my friends and say, I made that, you know, and you get that feeling. And then when you have the repeat customer, not just walking by, but they actually come in and say, oh, I have this box pouch that you made. I've had it for 4 years. It's holding up so well. And that feeling of pride is really great.
Especially when they say probably like, hey, I want to get another one of those,
Oh, yeah.
or I want to buy this, or I saw this at an event.
Absolutely.
I can imagine that's...
Repeat business is always good, not just for the financials, but it makes you know that they like your quality product.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this year I've even started offering a discount. I said, if you come in wearing or carrying one of the items that I've made for you, I'm going to give you a discount on the next item you buy. It's a great way to appreciate our customers.
Right. Not only that, but you're probably doing it for the love of the genre and the hobby.
I
right?
do. I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. You know, we've had a year of missing this kind of thing, and it's been what 15 months or so since we've been at an event, and now that we're back in, it's just it feels so good to be around friends, people that we haven't seen in so long, and getting to see the music, seeing you guys fighting, seeing jousting, and those customers coming back and say, oh, we missed you guys. I'm back to see how you guys have been and buy more leather goods.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take a walk around your shop and see some of your wares. Sure. And give us a little description on that.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about these suits of armors earlier, so let's take a moment and actually really look at them because they're
Sure.
kind of impressive. How long does it take to make one of these?
Yeah, these are some lengthy processes. For the whole entire suit, it's around 30 to 35 hours.
Wow.
Like I said before, this is made, the pattern is made by Prince Armory. And what he does is he sends you the pattern, you pay the fee for the pattern, and this has about 7 different patterns. There's a cuirass, the pauldrons, the arms, the gauntlets, the helmet, tassets, the legs, and the sabaton. There's a lot that goes into these. And there are 2 versions that you can use. This one that has the spikes and more fantasy looking, and this one's a more traditional kind of rounded edges. But what I did do on this is to add a nice embossed edging here, so it gives a little bit of its own flavor.
Makes it a little bit more fancy.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of the more important and some amazing items that you make that are here in the tent.
Awesome. So come on over here. We have one of my most popular items are our tankards. So what I do is I do a leather wrap on the tankards, and every one of these is different because it has its own stamp. Again, that embossed edging there, or I'll put studs on it, and they're laced up on the sides. So the tankards themselves, you can take the wrap off and wash the tankard, let it dry, and put the wrap back on there.
And those are nice and sturdy feeling.
Yeah,
great
stainless steel,
Yeah.
a nice good weight to them. Another really popular item are my box pouches over here. These are definitely sized enough to fit the modern cellular devices and your car keys, your wallet, and stuff like that. And if you really want to have a bigger one, we have a larger size here. But most people buy this size here. And like the tankards, there are 7 different colors. I have about 25 different stamps, so the combinations are so endless there for those. So one of the most popular items, of course, is belts. You need to have a belt to be able to put a belt pouch on, to a sword frog. So many things can go on your belts, and so I like to have a huge variety of belts. I do about 7 different colors, just like the box pouches and tankards, and I have 3 different roller patterns that I can do: a Celtic pattern, a scroll pattern, and an acorn and oak. So, or I could just do plain. And what I like to do is have a variety of every single one. So lots of combinations, of course, means 160 belts out here. You know, somebody comes in with a kind of Celtic feel. We have Celtic in purple, Celtic in green, Celtic in blue. So it gives a lot of options for the fair goer.
Now, do you find that the belts are very popular? One of your most popular items?
Oh, absolutely. I think yesterday sales were probably a quarter in just belts. We sell a lot of belts, and not just me. So I also partner with Legendary Leathercraft. Michael Marquis is a partner of mine, and you can see some of his belts over here too. So we both are leather crafters, been in business about the same amount of time. He has a little bit different style than mine, so we figured why not partner together and offer the customers more options. So his belts are here, and then he's also a great crafter of sporrans and masks. He's been making masks for, I don't know, 10 years or so. Great for not only for Halloween, but for masquerade balls and sorts of things like that.
So let's take a look at some of those masks.
Absolutely.
All right. So you said he makes these by hand.
Yeah, all of these are made by hand himself. He then paints them and dyes them all, puts a nice sheen on them. And you can see there are some maybe characters you've seen in movies and things like that, but also just things that he's made himself with a wavy blue guy and unicorn figures, all sorts of different options, ranging from big, huge face masks to even just little eye patches, for one eye. So a large variety. And that's Mike Marquis from Legendary Leathercraft.
Now, when you set up at an event, usually it's the two of you set up, or sometimes is it just you or just him?
We do both. So there's a couple fairs that he and I partner together, and there's a couple fairs that we do separately,
Yep.
and then there's a couple fairs that he does himself, and a couple fairs that I do myself. So it really depends on what the range is, what our availability is.
Right. Now, how many events per year do you do?
Me personally, I do about 7 different weekends a year, and then I also do a couple single-day events, so less than 10 total. And Mike will probably do 3 of them with me under the same tent.
Okay, that's cool. So Caleb, thank you for spending the time with us today on this. It was great to walk through your shop. What's your next event that you're going to be at?
Well, this summer I have the Massachusetts Renaissance Fair, Maine Renaissance Fair, and New York Capital District Renaissance Fair.
Okay.
All the dates of those can be found on my Facebook page for Made by Hand Leather, and I'll be sharing that out probably through you and through other fairs. We do a lot of cross-pollination. So
That's awesome. So thank you folks for joining us today, and if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom and keep up to date on our latest videos. See you later.
Bye guys.
And recording.